perhaps I have not been clear enough. Don't get me wrong. It's not one size fits all authorization. It's a very differentiated approach towards authorization, and indeed sometimes it can take very long. The point is that if we have an incremental change of the vaccine that is targeted and that only needs a reduced additional information or data, then of course you can reduce the time, but being thorough is, where what safety is concerned, of utmost importance. Sputnik, thank you for asking that. So I always observe that here and there are ongoing news as if Sputnik would have applied with by EMA. It is not the case as we speak right now. It may change, but so far they have not applied for conditional market authorization. If they do that, they have to submit the whole set of data, indeed go through the whole scrutiny process. We were just discussing, like any other vaccine too. And there's a second point. They are not producing in Europe. So, of course, there should be an inspection process on the production sites. Because as we've learned now, over time, one of the very crucial points is to have a stable and high-quality production process. I've learned with the new vaccines that at the very beginning they had to throw away batches because the production process was not stable and didn't bring the yield and the quality that was necessary. So the second point is inspection of the sites. Overall, I must say, we still wonder why Russia is offering, theoretically, millions and millions of doses while not sufficiently progressing in vaccinating their own people. This is also a question, I think, that should be answered.
So for Mr. Spielman, for the second question. So what the President spoke about with regard to Sputnik allows me to add to this. So let me just take a step back. We need to be humble. The problem for us today, and I'm being very careful in what I say, is not vaccines. It's the availability of vaccines. We have a broad portfolio, yes. And for 4 or 5 of these vaccines, we know they work. But manufacturing is another story. It's very complex. If you look at Sputnik, they're good scientists, yes. It's an adenovirus vaccine. So there's difference between the first and second doses. So it's doubly complex to manufacture. And you need to bear in mind, a lot of people came to see us here in Europe. They came to propose their vaccines. But as the President said, we have very strict rules when it comes to safety. Our ambition is something that I can set out in figures. Now, we need to evaluate the needs we're going to have, and that's the task of the HERA incubator. So we're going to have to look at new variants, assess those, and look at the production in Europe and around Europe. And we are at an advanced stage of discussions when it comes to all of the candidates for vaccines from an industrial point of view. When it comes to the messenger vaccines, the RNA messenger vaccine, well, the capacity is going to increase significantly. I know that there's a lot in the pipeline. It's not easy. We're not going to start from zero. We're talking about billions of vaccines here. And this target will be reached. There will be billions of vaccines. And when it comes to all the various different types of vaccines, we're boosting the production capacity. And our objectives can be met. They're attainable objectives. We've done all the groundwork. So this objective can be met, it will be met. And Our ambition is to look to the future as well. I'm not sure if we're going to have to vaccinate every year. Nobody knows. But one thing is certain. When you look at what happened over the last few years, we need to have health sovereignty in the EU. We need to be capable to react quickly if there's a new crisis. And one of the objectives of HERA is to work with industries to ensure that we have the whole panoply of technologies. There are various different technologies, and these need to be ready to roll if there is a need for them. And once again, this is the case for us and for the countries around us, especially our African partners.
Question which we received from